My name is Tom Kaler. I've been running, well, I ran cross country in high school for a couple of years, but I didn't really get started as an adult until the first time I ran as an adult was in 1999. My dad and I made a pact to run the Thanksgiving Day 10K in 1999, and that was the first road race that I did as an adult.
Hi, my name is Chip Mahaney. I'm an Anderson Township resident. I've lived in Anderson Township since 2008, and I started running really in 2008, right when I moved here.
Well, my name's Clippity.
And I'm Klopp. I'm the original Klopp. She married into the name.
And I originally started running after graduating as a nurse at Bowling Green. I moved down to Richmond, Virginia and worked as a nurse and found it quite stressful, and so I took up running. And I remember the first time I went out to run, I thought, oh, I wonder if that was 1 or 2 miles, and it turned out to be like a quarter of a mile. But I stuck with it, ran Monument Avenue a lot in Richmond, and then I met Klopp here and found he liked running too, so we've been doing it for 40 years now.
Hello, my name is Steve Torok. I started running in the early 90s doing 5Ks in the summertime, and I would stop at the end of the summer and then not run in the wintertime. And my weight got up to like 180 pounds or so, which for me was a lot, and I decided in 1998, I heard about the Flying Pig starting in 99, so I said I'm going to run a marathon in 1998 in Columbus in the fall.
My name is Phil Helbig. I am a runner from Anderson Township. I was born and raised in Cincinnati. And I got started running 33 years ago tomorrow. My 33-year anniversary is tomorrow. So I've been running a long time, and how I got started running, it's kind of funny. In high school, I hated to run. Could not stand it. In fact, I played baseball, and the coach would make us run a lot. And I still remember coming up to him and, Mr. Hannikin, is this a track team or a baseball team? Because he'd make us run so much. And But I got kind of interested in boxing my junior year of high school. So I started running a little bit to get in shape for that. The trainer said, you know, you got to start running to get in shape to box. So, but kind of the background on how I really got started running, my uncle, he's the one who got me started running. Uncle Ronnie, he was my mom's brother. And every year, when I was growing up, he would come visit. He was in the Army. He was a sergeant, a drill sergeant. And he would try to get my brother and I to run with him. He was a big time runner. And we'd always tell him no, didn't want to run. But since I was running a little bit, I told him, I said, when you come visit this time, I'm ready to run with you. So it was 1984, August 20th, and ran 4 miles that day with him, and ran the whole week with him that he was at our house. And the very last day, we ran 10 miles to over to Glen Estee, to my aunt's house. We just ran up to the house, knocked on the door, and ran back. So he couldn't believe I ran 10 miles. That day, and I still remember that run. And so about a week later, we talked on the phone, and he told me I should, he said, yeah, I think about getting in a race. So I didn't know anything about road racing or anything like that. So I saw an ad for the Mercy Metric 10K down at Lunken Airport, and it was on Labor Day. And so about 2 weeks after that first run with my uncle, I ran a 10K. And pretty much I was hooked since that day. So been running ever since. And so that's how I got to start running. And oh, and might add that my boxing career didn't last too long. I sustained multiple injuries to my nose. Doctors highly recommended I give it up. So this running thing was kind of took the place of that competitive nature I have, and so the running kind of took off, and just began with 10Ks, and I wanted to shoot for a half marathon, and then after that I wanted to do a marathon, and just kind of went from there.
I tell people that running is my hobby. A lot of people have various other hobbies of things that they have passion about, and running is mine, and it's something that helps me stay in shape, and it's a competitive outlet and camaraderie with friends, and I really enjoy getting out and seeing new places when running marathons in different cities, and it's just a great way for somebody like me who works in an office to be able to spend some time outdoors and to stay in shape.
I got hooked up with a friend of mine, Tom Kaler, and Tom, and as I kind of started doing a 10K that I kind of started on my own. In fact, there's a great podcast series or training program called Couch to 5K, and it's been used by millions of people. And if you're just on the couch wondering how can I get involved with running, just Google Couch to 5K. You'll find books, you'll find audio recordings, you'll find all kinds of things to kind of get you started. And really, it is very simple. You start from that. Anyway, when I did a 5K and then I did 10K, by then I was hooked. And then my friend Tom invited me to the Echo Running Club, and we're standing right here at Parkside Christian Church on Salem, and we meet here every morning at 7 o'clock, Saturday morning at 7 o'clock for a group run, and we'll take pretty much any pace that shows up. We'll help you get around and learn what we do. We're typically for people who are running 10Ks, half marathons, and marathons, but if you're starting, hey, we'll find a place for you and we'll help you get going.
My weight went down, and for the last 19 years I've been able to keep my weight steady, and that's one of the main reasons I run, and I've been able to run the Pig every year. So I've done 19 years of the Pig and 20 years coming up, and I've done 75 marathons, and I've learned through my training that if you train through the summer or the fall to do a summer or the winter to do a marathon, you can turn around and do another marathon 3 weeks or 4 weeks after that, and another one 3 or 4 weeks after that, and not have to do your long runs in between. So it's a part of my lifestyle now, and I do it year round.
Why do I continue to run after all these years? That's a good question. It's a loaded question because there's so many reasons that I continue to do it and actually continue to compete and push my body hard. One reason is it just makes me happy. I always feel great after a run, and makes me keeps me fit and healthy. And another reason is makes me feel closer to God. I mean, I'll feel closer to God after a run or during a run. It might be bad to say this, but I feel closer to God on a lot of my runs than I do when I'm sitting in a church. It's just how it is, and I feel that real strong connection to God when I'm running. So it's kind of like spiritual and physical and also mental, and relieves a lot of stress. And a good reason. I was kind of, back in 2010, getting a little bit out of shape. I was still running, but not really, kind of going through the motions. Well, my daughter Gracie was born in 2010, and that kind of motivated me to get really back in shape. And I want to show her, as she gets older, that her daddy, is physically fit, and it's important to stay fit and exercise, and that even as you get older and you age, you don't have to give it up. And whether it's running or other activities, biking or swimming, that staying fit and having a healthy lifestyle is extremely important. So I want to be an example for her. And that's a big reason I'm still doing it. And another factor is I like to compete against people. And now that I'm 51, it's nice to compete against people in my age bracket and see how I compare against them, and so still motivated, and now I'm a huge Steve Prefontaine fan, and he's very motivational and very inspiring to me. And a lot of times when I run, I'll think of him and how hard he pushed. And he had a famous quote: "To give less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." And I truly feel that running is a gift, a gift from God. And I feel very fortunate to be able to still be doing it after all these years.